furry puppy! Oh, I might have a blanket on, but I didn't want that for my model. How do I... There we go. Much better. Hi! Hi! How are you guys doing? It's okay. The reason why it says 5 is because I fixed it, but it's on a different computer again. Oh, it's such a mess. Don't worry. One day I'll have a computer, and I won't have to worry about it, and it'll be fine. Hi, Kochi. Hi, Parvana. Hi, Avian. And I know Honey's in here somewhere. Don't you worry. I see you. I see you. Oh, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Happy to see you guys. I'm happy to be doing my advice stream finally. As you can see, I'm a very studious dog today. I've got glasses on. You're feeling unwell? Oh, so sorry to hear that. I don't want you to feel unwell. I want you to feel very well. Hmm. I'm figuring out what button does what right now. Hold on, sorry. That's wrong. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. There we go. So, today I'm going to be reading out some advice and trying to help you guys with it. Bow, bow, bow. I have pinned my straw page instead in case anybody wants to submit anything kind of last minute. Your body's very upset with you. Don't worry, I'm picking it up this week and I'm gonna deliver it. I'm gonna go fetch it. I'm gonna fetch it for you. And I'm gonna give it to you. It's gonna be good. You'll be fine. Don't worry. I know how you feel though. Woo! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Oops. I misspelled something on my thing. Hold on. Yeah, I'm a professional fetcher. I can find basically anything you need at any given time. For real. For real though. I'm really good at that. I would call myself a fixer, but that means something entirely differently. That's like a dangerous thing. Oh, I put in the wrong email, that's why. Silly me. There we go. What? What? And then this would be... bonk. Oh, it's not letting me log in. That's so weird. But it's okay. I have it on my phone. I'll just use it on my phone. I am really good at that. Yeah. It's something that I'm really good at is being able to help people out and get them the things that they need when they need them. Bow, bow, bow. Okay. I'm glad that I am able to help people out. That's something that I just really like to do. I do enjoy helping out my fellow people and getting them what they need when they need it. Because like you know how it is. especially if you go through official channels. Official channels can be really hard to get things that you need. I'm gonna fix my glasses really quick. I'm gonna screw them over. Come on, there. In the center, come on. I'm breathing too much. There. They're a little wacky, but, you know, whatever works. Come on. Better. I really did just kind of leave my mouth open for that. I was like, kind of like how people talk about when they're like putting on mascara or something and they just keep their mouth open when they need to focus. Why do we do that as a people? Do you think? Do you think that there's like a reason why we keep our mouth open when we need to focus? Very strange. A very weird human trait. Oh no. Chrome now has like this AI mode. I hate it. Ugh. I don't want to have this AI thing in my computer. I just want to have my phone be my phone and let me look at things. Okay. I'm logged in and I've got more messages. Ah, yay! My questions. AI image quality filters on your shorts, even though I have that setting turned off. Like, yeah, oh my gosh, it's everywhere. It is so frustrating because it's like they don't give you the option to like get rid of it. And I'm like, dude, this is the last thing that I want. It's like kind of ridiculous. Yeah, it makes things too smooth and wobbly and weird, especially because it's like I don't want this like this weird filter over life. I want things to be normal and human and grungy and gross. That's how humans are. You know, like it feels inappropriate to have everything get smoothed over and cleaned up by AI. It's like how a lot of people were having body image issues because of all of the filters that were on like Snapchat and Instagram and stuff like that. And it's like we're becoming less in touch with what things look like in real life. And AI is not helping. AI is not helping at all. It's like I just want things to be McNormal. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go over to my office. Hello. We are in my office. I'm just a little guy in my professional dog office. You know what? I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. There. That's a little bit better. I like that more. There we go. Look, I think that there's a time and a place for photo editing, and it's not on everyone's photos. Do you know what I mean? We're really kind of losing touch with the important parts of life, which are the imperfections. Please, I have an older friend, 70, who sends me cute videos all the time, and she's anti-AI, but she just can't tell. She can't tell, and she hates it, and she feels bad. Yeah, see, like, it's exactly like that. Like, there's people who aren't, like, trained in what to spot when they're obviously AI, and then there's also people who, like, put out extremely realistic AI, too. Like, I've been tricked recently by just someone it was like somebody painting their dog's nails, And I was like, oh, that's so cute. I love that. I love dog video. And then community noted 5 days later, I get the notification, community noted, this was generated with AI. What? What? She's just painting her dog's nails. You don't need to generate AI for that. Like, what? And then it's taking up. Oh, and don't even get me started on the research. Like, the thing is that it's just not necessary. Yeah, you can't trust pet videos anymore. Especially because it looked like just a normal dog. It wasn't like one of the, oh, this is so fluffy and adorable dogs. It looked like a normal black lab. And I was like, what? What do you mean that's AI? That's that's a that's just a dog. Can't 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 deal with that. Can't deal with that. And my mom shows me Bubble Mama. She shows me AI sometimes, and I'm like, unfortunately that's AI, but it's very cute. Because I try to cheer her up when I have to say that specifically because it cheers them up a little bit when they make a mistake, but it's okay. You know, it happens to the best of us. Even me, even you. We're all getting tricked these days. And there's no need for it, you know? You don't need to spend all that time generating this thing. Like, just go out to a dog park and take a video of a cute dog. You don't there's no need for it, you know? Oh, but don't want to go outside to see a cute dog. What a waste then. What a waste. Yeah, making AI videos of things that are just mundane that you don't need to be generating is truly kind of even more so the bane of my existence. Everyone was loving this bug photo on Tumblr, and then it turned out it was an AI generated photo of a real photo, and all it did was make it inaccurate. Oh my god. You know, that's the thing, isn't it? Isn't it? It's like, dude, just post the photo of the real bug. I'm sure we'd all love. If you're happy to see a bug, then it's like sick bug. Just post the photo of the bug. Whoop, ads. Wait for me, guys. Wait for me. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. What the heck is going on these days? Like, it just changed the texture of the bug's body and removed a set of its legs, but it was otherwise identical to the actual photo, and I was just like, what's the point? Yeah, what is the point? Post bug. Post real bug. Real bug in chat. Come on. I know you're still here, Avian. I like that you're still here. It's like, I'm not going to rage against the machine too hard today, but it still feels weird, doesn't it? Where it's like, oh, this could have been. It feels like this could have been an email of the tech world. You know what I mean? Do you drink cranberry juice with sweetener? I like how bitter it is. It is intense. It is very bitter. Cranberry juice is very tasty. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, this could have been an email. This could have been an email. Like, we very easily could have had a sort of this could have been an email moment with AI, you know what I mean? How silly. How silly are we at this point? Oh, why did computer make noise? But yeah. Oh, you usually drink the juice cocktail or have it mixed with stuff. Oh yeah, it makes sense. I mean, like, I like the juice cocktail too. I'm not pressed about it though. I don't mind when it's kind of bitter. Do, 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 do. Yeah, welcome back, Kochi. Yeah, there's a lot of photos of real historical photos. A lot of AI photos. Yeah, it's really weird why that's been the the issue lately. I watched a whole video recently that was a critique on a historical photo critique on AI because it was about someone who it was basically a video of someone who is a historian, and they were like, "Oh, I want to see how close AI can get to an actual historical photo." And well, it did not do well. It basically the thing was is that like some it could get really well, but other ones it was just like it was rough. It was like what do you mean that's supposed to be a historical photo? It's it's really bad. Um anyway. Anyway, but yeah. Let me know if the video is too laggy. Luckily I'm just kind of chilling here. Oh, I do want to see what my Tamagotchi's doing. I heard it beep. What are you up to, kids? What do you need? Hmm. Are you sad? Yeah, you're sad. You're causing a fuss. Let me see. Let me cheer you up. Oh, is that not it? Yeah, I think that wasn't it. But that's okay. This one just went to the bathroom, that's all. So, let me fix that. Boop. There we go. Fixed it. Alright. Now let's go back to the office. Let's see. My microphone arm keeps pressing buttons on my keypad. Anyway, so I have some of my my questions, my advice questions. I'm going to, so I currently have one, two, three. I currently have three advice questions. And so I'm going to read a Reddit story, read your advice question and answer it, and then go back and forth. I currently have some very fun stories to read. I'm currently in best of Redditor updates because I like when they update. I like when they update about it. Oh, you like my glasses? Thank you. I want to make custom ones. I want to make custom glasses at some point. I do think I look very cute with the glasses, so yeah, it's really adorable. I love it. It makes me happy. Hmm. Okay. I want to see what this one is. Let's see. Okay. So it doesn't come in like an email. It is part of the website. It's sort of like when you send an ask on Tumblr. It is a singular private anonymous message. and it'll just kind of be like, it won't tell you who it's from or who submitted it. It's completely anonymous. You can sign it if you want. I don't mind. But I'm going to put it through basically I'm just it comes in through my website, and I just screenshot it, and I'm gonna bring it up onto the page, onto our stream. Oh, thank you for the headpats. And it's gonna be yeah, I'm just gonna read it out, and I'm gonna give my advice as best as I can. First, let's read this story. This is a Reddit story from, I don't know, because it says doesn't say who the original poster is, but it's from Best of Redditor Updates. We are reading, "My coworker won't stop complaining about my tattoos," and I think that this is a very good one that I could potentially give some advice on, because I like giving advice. I just do. It's just something I like. So, it says, "My coworker won't stop complaining about my tattoos. This was originally posted to Ask a Manager." And so, the original post is actually from 2019, but I think I could give some good input in this one. This person says, "I started a new job in December. Carol started in February. We work for a small company with 6 of us in production. We're not customer facing in any way. Carol was fine with me until the weather warmed up and I wore short sleeves, at which point she discovered that I have tattoos. She took me aside the same day to tell me how unprofessional she thought I was for having them. I pointed out that workplace norms are changing in general and that our particular workplace doesn't care. It didn't matter. They were unprofessional, and that was that. For reference, we're both women in our 50s. Oh, you're 50 and have tats? That's so sick, though. Oh, I love that. Okay, I gotta say, you are officially way cooler. Carol is actually 8 months younger than I am. I am not the only one with ink, but I am the only woman, and the shipping guys are in another building, so she probably doesn't realize that both of them do too. Since then, she has spoken to me repeatedly about them. When I refused to engage, I started with a briskly cheerful, "So you've said, I disagree," and then, "You've said, and I'm not talking about this anymore," and I'm now just ignoring her muttering. She's taken to talking to herself about it. She's also has gone to 3 of our coworkers to complain about them. Those ladies are all senior to us, but beyond keeping an eye on the production schedule, they are not supervisory in any way. We think she'd like me to cover them, but she knows she doesn't have the standing to say that, and I don't have any reason to. They're not offensive. One is set as flowers, and the other is a geometric paisley. And nobody here cares. That makes so much sense. Also, like, you're both 50. Come on. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Not even from oh, we've kind of moved past that stage in society, but like straight up, you're 50, you can do whatever you want with your body. Like you're basically, you're cool now, you know? Like it's moved past the point where you have to care. Um Also, like, what is even going on with this lady? Like, is she gonna remove them? Are you gonna remove them for her? Like, what's gonna happen here? What's the point? Okay, so I'm dreading summer. This is an elderly building and it's poorly air conditioned. I'm told tank tops and shorts are the norm. She's going to be really wound out when she figures out the gauntlets she dislikes are actually full sleeves, plus the edges of a few others that will show. Ooh, wow, you've got a lot of tattoos. That's really cool. Yeah, it's really live and let live here. Like you're basically you're working in like a warehouse situation. I'm hearing, like, it doesn't matter very much. It says our HR person is very part-time and mostly for onboarding slash benefit type things. I can go to our owner, who I think would be responsive, but this feels like something I should be able to handle on my own, and so far I'm having no luck. Can you provide any advice on a one last try script at shutting her down on the topic, or should I just go straight to the boss lady? Okay, I'm gonna stop here. There is an update, but I am going to stop here, and I'm gonna give my advice. My advice is to basically, I would go to HR in any given situation, or I would go to a supervisor and I would be like, hey, I would like you to mediate a conversation with me. And that's basically what you should do, is have a mediated conversation, not one-on-one, because when things are one-on-one, it can become very, she said about the topic. So like then she could potentially be like, "Oh, she's harassing me," when you go, and she would go to HR. You want to kind of preempt that, because you are in a professional scenario, even if it's a casual one, and you would want to go to someone who's slightly higher up than you and just go, "Hey, I need you to mediate a conversation with me for like 5 minutes." And then you go to the other person, pull her in, and be like, "Hey, man, there's nothing you can do to change this. Just stop. It's really hurting my feelings, and I need you to leave it alone." And if she doesn't, then you have the record of this action, You've got the record, and you have a higher up who was there, and if that becomes a problem in the future, then you could be like, "Hey, they're still doing it. They're still being a problem, and it's becoming kind of toxic. So I don't know how I feel." And then they'd be like, got it, queen, got it, queen. Let me help you out." And they might be able to, be like, "Hey, you should shut up." But yeah. Oh, thank you for liking the poster. Yeah, it was supposed to be a motivational poster, but I didn't know what to put, so I put I've got the power of anime and friendship on my side, and that's basically me. so I just put it up there. Um, God and anime. Anyway, so that's my advice, is you don't need to go to HR, but you should definitely have a record of you talking to this person about their behavior, because that's important. Um, because very often, the fact that she was muttering to herself about the tutus is super weird. Yeah, it is. It is super weird. It is very weird. It's like, don't do that. It's literally not your problem. And it's like, maybe she's jealous. Maybe she's just jealous that she doesn't have a tattoo, because everybody told her it was unprofessional. That it was everybody told her that it's not good to have, or you won't get hired. And guess what? These people all got hired, and these people all have professional jobs. And now she has to cope with the fact that she didn't get the tattoo when she wanted to. And honestly, I feel like that's a lot of what things are. Yeah, times are so different now. Like, have you seen the amount of piercings some people have? And they just are like, "Yeah, I'm a customer front worker. It's fine." It's like, nobody really cares. It is specifically all in this woman's head. And I think that says a lot, Like, that it's just like, "Oh, yeah, you are the only person having an issue with it." So, yeah, very passive aggressive. Let's see how this person responded. So this is an update, which is 3 weeks later. I don't believe this is not. This doesn't have any other updates. Yeah, most people have tattoos. But yeah, you do work in a place where it's more expected. Fair, fair, fair. But honestly, like, so many people have tattoos. I've seen a lot of older people with like memorial tattoos and stuff, where they'll have like little flowers and then like a person's name. It's like not a big deal anymore. We're not living in like even the 80s. Even the 80s was a problem, you know what I mean? Like sometimes in the 90s, like it wasn't so bad in the 90s, I don't think. I wasn't there, but I wasn't working, in the 90s, but I feel like it was starting to become more of the norm. So like it's I don't think it's much of a problem as they're making it out to be. Anyway, so let's see how did you respond? How do you respond to Carol? So the situation with Carol has been resolved. I actually spoke to her the same day you posted my letter. uh, I ran into her at the break room, and she started in again, and I interrupted her and said, "That's enough. I have asked you politely, and now I'm telling you, stop commenting on my tattoos. They don't come off, I'm not going to cover them, and they're not against the rules here. Your obsession with my skin is really weird, and I don't appreciate it. This is the last conversation I intend to have with you about this." She was pretty taken aback that I thought she was being weird, but I didn't give her a chance to keep going. I just went back to work. She didn't speak to or about me for the rest of the week. By next week, she had settled on a stilted, pass the salt style conversation, but only if it was a group thing. She still wouldn't speak to me personally. Since we don't work on the same projects, this didn't have any impact on my workflow, so I was okay with chilly silence. It beat the nagging for sure. See, that's a good way to go about it. Is if you don't have a formal like HR department or anything like that, you can just talk to them and give them a stern warning like, "Hey, stop. You can do that. You can set that boundary, especially if you're at work. Like work is so much like stress as it is. You do not need this person adding to it. It's ridiculous to think that anything like that is even a problem, you know? It's just silly. Anyway, let's say. Then we went on site to do an installation. We were warned that it would be hot and cramped and to dress in layers we could shed. Of course, the inevitable happened. Carol and I ended up on different teams, and when we met for the mid-morning team swap, um, most of us were down to a tank top, me included. Carol got one good look and flipped out. She berated me about my lack of professionalism in someone else's workplace and caused enough of a ruckus that Jane came to see what's going on. Carol went off on Jane about my continued and blatant lack of professionalism, but Jane shut her down sharply. The teams were reshuffled as planned, and Carol got put on Jane's team. Apparently she took that as an invitation to keep going and asked Jane why she hired me and then why she tolerated me. Jane's answer, I hired her for her skill, not her skin. Jane may be my new favorite boss. Then she accused Jane of lack of professionalism for doing so. After about an hour after the team swap, Joe, the other owner, came with the company car with the HR lady on her day off. Oh my god, they brought in the HR lady on her day off for this. Oh my god. Sorry, could you imagine it being your day off and then you're called in being like, yeah, this person's kind of being insane. You gotta come in, and you had them pay overtime. You had them pay the HR lady overtime. Girl. No, girl, no. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the HR lady was probably not having it by the time that she got there. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Oh my god. Okay, so let's see. I can only imagine what Carol was saying to Jane this whole time. Oh my god. Anyway, and took Carol back to the workshop. Oh my gosh. She apparently stewed all the way back or read the handwriting on the wall, and when they got back, she got out of the car, declared that she couldn't continue to work for such an unprofessional organization, and that she had her own reputation to look after, even if we didn't care about ours, got in her car and left. That was the last we've seen of her, although there has been a scathing review posted to Glassdoor since then. Oh my gosh, yeah, get out of here, lady. This is clearly not where you need to be working. The next day, Jane had individual meetings with all of us, and the day after that, a workroom staff meeting. We, myself and the 3 senior ladies that Carol had gone to complain, were chastised for letting it go as far as it did, without giving Jane a heads up, even if this is a thing, but I'm handling it warning. Oh my gosh, see, this is what I mean. They did say, hey, you should have gone to your higher ups, your HR, to at least let them know, because it can become a problem. Like, she clearly became a problem for everyone else. But yeah, oh my gosh. Like, it's really good that you are in a healthy enough workplace to say that sort of thing, you know, to be able to have a HR that is like, hey, yeah, you should have told us something even if you are handling it yourself. And that's, you know what, this is a good company. This is a positive company, gotta say. If you find a workplace that have a management that cares that much, yeah, you're lucky, I guess. You're totally lucky. Let's see. So she says, the senior-most co-worker pointed out that none of them really had any power to do anything, and that has now changed. There is now a designated workroom supervisor, and at end of the week, how are things check-in between that person and Jane? The workroom is a much calmer place now, and interviews for Carol's replacement start next week. Also, a formal tattoo, piercings, hair color policy is being added to our employee handbook. Basically, anything goes as long as it's safe to have around machinery and is not offensive. All in all, it's been a learning experience for all of us, I think. Thank you for your advice. I really appreciated the framework for my response to Carol. Very good outcome, luckily. Very lucky outcome. I wanna go back to what Kochi said about. I know places like Japan has context of being an ex yakuza with tattoos. Is still that's still changing? No or not? Yes. And so basically, I do want to talk about that for a second because that is very much so a cultural expectation, and the basic answer is yes and no. Tattoos are getting accepted more by the younger crowd, but the older crowd is still around, so they still are kind of judgmental. But they aren't as judgmental to foreigners, is the thing, because they sort of go, "Oh, well, they're a foreigner. They're obviously not not a yakuza, so I'm not so worried about them having tattoos." And so that is usually kind of what goes around, and then also like a lot of people have tattoos in places that are easily covered up. The only place that you might have a problem, it would be probably an onsen, because that's just a whole bath, and a lot of the times if you have any tattoos, onsen won't let you in. But if you can put a band-aid over your tattoo or some sort of wrap, usually you're okay. Usually it's not so bad. And so that's not something that a lot of people have to worry about, especially with modern onsens. If you go to a modern onsen at like a hotel or something like that, I don't think that I don't think they mind as much. But I think that's basically kind of the cultural context for that is very much so. Yes, normally people aren't still kind of judgmental against tattoos there, but they're fine otherwise. Like they don't really care. Yeah, they give you special coverings for specifically for scars, yeah, and tattoos, because that's the sort of thing that's important. Okay. Okay. So we have of some more lovely submissions. Let's read a submission here. Let me bring up. I've just kind of been saving them to my desktop here. So let me grab one. Okay. Let's bring this on down. Hello, friend. What do you need? What do you think is the best way to find genuine connection in a community? It feels so hard to shuffle through people not knowing how to find the good ones. I think two things. One, it entirely depends on the community. You could be in a community, and the loudest people are always going to be the worst ones, I think. Usually. A lot of the time, if you find yourself in a community with a lot of negativity, um, the people who are being really negative tend to be the people that you would want to avoid, because it makes you kind of sad, to have to deal with that. And who knows, then it becomes like, well, you're being negative too, and it just becomes a feedback loop that's not so good. However, if you are looking to if you're looking to find genuine connections, the only thing you can do is reach out. And like, if you find someone who you're like, oh, this person talks about a lot of stuff that I like, and this person has a lot in common with me, and I just get cool vibes from them, so I want to be friends with them. You have to reach out. You gotta put yourself out there. And it sucks to hear that you just kind of have to start talking, but that's kind of how it goes. Usually, I recommend actually talking in, if you're like, say you're in a Discord community, and you meet someone there and you're like, oh, like, they seem really cool. I like the stuff they talk about. They don't seem like they have weird opinions, or even if they do, they seem like they're nice, like they have nice opinions. Like, you can have weird opinions but not be nice. And you can have weird opinions and be a very nice person. Um, and then you're like, yeah, this person seems like someone I could vibe with. Like, then start talking to them in the group chat first if you're nervous, because then it's like, oh, this is the area where one would talk to make friends. And then you could be like, hey, can I DM you? And they could be like, yeah, or I don't really take DMs, you know, whatever. And then you can just sort of keep talking, and like even if it's one of those things where they're like, oh, I don't take DMs from complete strangers, you know, I use this to talk to my friends. And you're like, oh, that's cool, like we could keep talking here, and then if you're comfortable you can DM me, you know, like that sort of thing. That's a good way to make friends. A lot of the friends that I currently have are people I literally just started talking to. I was just like, hey, you're cool, let's talk. And I would just started talking to them because I wanted to. Because I was like, oh, you're cool. I like you. Let's talk. And so that's how I met Piranha, honestly. Was me just going, hey, I started writing a fan fiction or something like that. I was writing a fan fiction and I was like, hey, I've been talking to you about your OC. Let's talk. Yeah, guy you wrote into a fan fiction because you were cool. You were cool and you had cool OCs. And I was like, oh, I wanna write you in. So I was like, oh, okay, is it cool if I write you into my fan fiction? He was like, yeah, sure, just let me read it. And so I was like letting you read it. We were, yeah. And that's how me and Piranha became friends. Was I was like, oh, I'm gonna write your OC into a fan fiction, and yeah, you met me through LARP, and so it's a lot of it is, yeah. So like, part of it is you have to put aside the part of you that goes, oh, I'm bothering people, because a lot of the times you're not. A lot of the times it's just like, especially if you're in a public forum, one of the things that I see a lot is people getting nervous because they're in a Discord and they're like, oh, well, you know, I don't want to just DM someone. A lot of it is just talking. Yeah, he rubs hands together like an evil fly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, hold on. Ads are starting in a minute. But first of all, yes, I also really like whipped honey. Whipped honey is very good. I find it really tasty, and I keep whipped honey for my morning toast. Um, Other than that, yes, I understand how it goes, where it's a lot of people don't want to bother people, but the only way you can like form a space in someone's life is by trying to take up space. If like some eventually it becomes a thing of like, oh, I should DM them about this thing that we both like. And then like once they start associating you with that thing too, they'll be like, "Oh, I saw this thing that we both like. Here, let me send it to you." And a lot of the way you form friendships is, oh yes, I also really like maple cream. I also have a jar of that. I love sweets. Anyway, a lot of it is literally just people people are afraid to take up space. And if you're afraid to take up space, it becomes hard to make friends because you are asking them to make a space in their life. And it's a lot easier if you want to become friends to just start talking about things you guys have in common. If you don't have a lot in common, you could just be like, hey, what's some stuff that you like? And you could be like, oh, well, I like this thing too, and I like this and that. Whoop, and there's ads. Whoa. Whoa. I'll finish my statement in a minute. But yeah, but yeah, I like maple cream, and I also really like creamed honey. I think they're both really tasty. I like when they're kind of fluffy, and they're really good on toast and on English muffins. It's really tasty, and I really like it. You got the luck buff for 15-second ads? Kochi, that's insane. Wow, that's nuts. Mood. Oh my gosh. But yeah, um, don't worry too much about bothering people. I think I became Mick Honey's friend because I DM'd them and was like, oh hey, you're debuting. Rub hands together like an evil fly. Yep, that's that's basically what happened. I I became friends with Honey because I've been wanting to help more people with their debuts because I had a lot of fun with my debut, and I thought it was really fun, and it was a working on my debut was something that I had so much fun with that it made me kind of realize that this is sort of the thing that I want to do. Not just VTubing, but literally making little VTubing events because they're so fun. They're fun to put together. I love making and creating assets and finding assets and setting things up to move around the screen in all sorts of ways. So that's something that I discovered that I genuinely like doing. And so I reached out to McHoney and I was like, "Yeah, I want to help you with your debut. This would be like the first person that I would be able to help with that." And I know that like smaller VTubers sometimes feel like they have a hard time putting together something like that because it's like, "Oh, I'm going to become a VTuber." Jumps in with both feet. "Ah, I'm drowning. I don't know what to do." So that's why I wanted to help, and that's why I also have little documents on how to, be a VTuber and put together little events and find free resources, especially free stuff. Oh my gosh, I love helping people find free stuff. I'm such a free stuff person. I'm so glad that your debut went well. I'm glad you appreciated my help at the very least. Um, as for what Kochi said, I'd say don't be afraid for some relationships to fall flat that you don't talk to again too. It's not like you can't talk again. Some people I thought I'd not talk to again that didn't go anywhere became close friends later in life where we started talking nonstop. That's exactly true. It's like kind of like networking where everyone says, "Oh, just get your foot in the door." That's kind of what it's like when you're trying to make friends too, where it's like, well, they're never going to think of you in any way unless you communicate with them, unless you start talking with them, unless you think of them and they think of you, where you can go, "Oh, hey, this is a thing I really like and this is a thing you really like. Let's share." And then like especially because here's a pro tip. Here's a pro tip for talking to people and wanting to become friends with people. People love to talk about themselves. Love it. They love talking about themselves, even if they're not selfish people, even if they're not narcissistic in any way. It's people like to be asked, about things they like, about things they do, how was their day, what are they up to. It's just something people like to hear. And so if you go to a person and you go, "Hey, I heard you were talking about this. Could you tell me more?" Like, easy. Easy. They will wind up talking for like an hour, especially if they're someone who's neurodivergent. If you're like, "Hey, this is your special interest, right? Do you want to tell me about it?" You've got them on the hook for 3 hours. They'll be sending you YouTube essays. You got nowhere to go. It's really easy to say, "Hey, tell me about yourself." But it's better to go, "Hey, tell me about this thing you like." Because you can learn a lot about a person just by asking them what they like. Yes, I love listening to people like that too. It's great. It's fantastic. Um, Piranha says, "Yeah, people who never talk to me otherwise will DM me around wintertime and go, 'Thought about you today because I heard pentatonics and you find that delightful.'" Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, yes, a person's favorite topic is usually themselves. It's true. It's true. And that's not a bad thing. Like I love to hear about other people's interests, especially because then I find new interests. That's how you find them, Word of mouth, people talking about it, people being interested in things that they love. It's a great way to start talking to people is to just be like, "Hey, there's this thing you put out there. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it with you because you seem interested." And then they like get to know you too because that's and sometimes having like a relationship with someone where you're both just fans of a thing, that's not so bad. It can start out that way and then it becomes, "Oh man, I was doing XYZ thing today," and it's like, "Oh, that's cool. What are you up to?" Like, and it becomes more like a deeper friendship after that, like. And if someone, and I will always say this, if someone doesn't want to be your friend, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. becoming friends is not always for everyone, and that's okay. And I have to say that sometimes people are mean about it, but that's because they don't know how to handle not wanting to be friends with someone. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the times we think, "Oh, I must have a reason for not liking this person." But that's just not true. You could just not like someone. And it doesn't have to mean anything about them, and it doesn't have to mean anything about you. You would be devastated if I didn't want to be your friend. Well, I do. I do want to be your friend. But yeah, like the thing is that becoming friends with people is really not very hard. They get really curious about your bubblegum collection. I love your gumball machine collection. I think it's really cool. I would have such my sweet tooth would be going crazy if I lived with that many gumball machines though. Those gumball machines would always be empty. It would be like the drill meme of like spend less money on candles. It would be me, but I would be like spend less money on gumballs. But yeah, like the thing is that I feel like people always think that people always think that if they don't like someone, they must have a reason for it. But sometimes you just don't vibe with someone, and that's okay. So all you got to do is just be like, both people just have to be mature and be like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I'm not really interested in having being friends with you right now. I appreciate you thinking of me though, and thinking that I'm cool, but I have to put down a boundary. I don't really know if I wanna be friends with you. I'm sorry." And then you as a mature person have to also go, "Oh, that's okay. Thank you for telling me and being upfront with me so that I don't have to spend all of this time, working really hard to be your friend and not getting anywhere, because that would be really awkward and weird." And we both kind of go, "Yeah, it would be. So like let's part ways, and it's nice, and we can be polite to each other in passing." And that's exactly how it should be. That's how it should work. Um, I mean, of course, no guarantee that two people are gonna equally be mature about that, but that's okay. Have fun. Good luck, McHoney. Good luck at work. But yeah, that's my opinion. Is that a lot of people think that it's like it has to be personal, and it doesn't have to be personal. Especially because like a person can go, "Well, I don't know you. I don't really want to get to know you. I've got a lot going on right now, man. I don't really want to get to know you." And it's like, that's okay. But also, like, don't feel bad about it. Like, you don't have to feel bad. It's just not your time, and that's okay. And like Coachy said, sometimes people who you have conversations with and they fall flat, and you don't become friends with them, it becomes a sort of moment later where you go, "Oh, well, actually, we can be really good friends. Let's be good friends." And that's always nice. That's always nice to come back to a friendship. It's really nice. My favorite topic is Mitch Grassi, and it annoys people to death. Limited edition special interest of the little guy from Pentatonics that I share with my mainly 40 to 80-year-old cishet women. Yeah, yeah. I like you talking about pentatonics though. I like hearing about specifically. I like hearing about Mitch because me and Mitch actually share a lot of interests. We both really like Tamagotchis. We both like our weird little dolls and stuff. It's fun. Very fun. Okay, so that was this one. That was that one. So, let's see. Let's find another Reddit story. Every time you say Kochi, I hear Qyuuzy, like from Homestar Runner. Um, I'm not surprised. I'm not fully surprised. I probably say it a little funny. Okay. I'm gonna take screenshots of the next couple of questions, and then we can read a Reddit story. Oop, it's a little bit laggy, and I don't know why it's so loud every single time I take a screenshot. Have you heard a lot of references for your name? You have a Coach Z figurine? That's cool, Piranha. My magical girl partner really likes Homestar Runner. Okay. Let's see. Actually, because we have so many, I'm gonna actually read another buddy. Let's see here. I didn't even know there would be Homestar Runner figures that exist. Probably weird English there. Yeah, no, they do, I'm sure. I mean, Homestar Runner is pretty big, right? Like, it's kind of crazy. Okay, let's do another one of these. Dear Bupper, I want to start my own magical girl convention. How do I start? From Hopeful Maho. Well, this one's kind of easy, actually. There are lots of different, like, tutorials online about how to organize for a convention. But largely, it's, I gotta say, it's about budgeting. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of budgeting. It's a lot of making sure that everything goes well. It's a lot of the times you can find community colleges that'll allow you to host things. A lot of the times you can find various other places as well that'll allow you to host get-togethers and things like that. Conventions are complicated specifically because you need so many people. It can't be a one guy run convention, it's just not possible. But if you have plenty of friends, if you have a lot of friends who are willing to help you out, it makes it a lot easier. Something that I don't know if this is really good advice, but making things not non-profit sometimes helps. But non-profits also don't get to keep any profits. So it's not very useful as a business in particular. However, you can often, yeah, don't do it, whatever you do, don't do a DashCon. Look at where DashCon failed and do whatever the opposite of DashCon did. the the best thing I think that one could do is organize things that they want to see. You wanted a ball pit for the stream? Can I put a ball pit on screen? Is there a transparent DashCon ball pit? I want to see. Oh yeah, baby. Somebody made the DashCon ball pit into a fan made essentially SCP apparently. Why is this coming up on Google? What the heck? There's not like a transparent one, and I'm not about to turn this thing into a PNG for myself. But the vibes are there. The vibes are there. Don't you worry. I've seen it edited into everything too, but like, I'm just not finding it. Yeah, apparently somebody turned it into like an unofficial SCP or something. It was very funny looking. Anyway, so starting a convention can be hard. You will need friends. You will need people to volunteer time. It's because you need staff. And you. So basically, I would recommend finding as many people to help as possible. If you're really interested, I would recommend starting with running a panel. Because running a convention is way more. There actually is. Hold on, there's actually a Magical Girl meetup. Let me see. I heard about this recently. Yeah, Magical Girl Festival. It's magicalgirlsfestival.com if you want to look it up. It is... I don't know where anybody is located, but I believe it's in New York City. But Magical Girls Festival is actually a magical girl event that you can go to. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's definitely Maho meetups. But yeah, so if you're interested, I can actually post the link in my Discord. I will put Magical Girls Festival into my Discord, and you'll be able to find it there at the end of stream. But it's a pretty big magical girl meetup, and mm, where would I put this? I'm gonna put this in media share actually, or actually no, I'll put it in recommendations. Boop. There you go, magicalgirlfestival.com. Oh, I love Doremi. Doremi is my favorite. I love the art style of it. It's so cute. But yeah, running conventions, very difficult. Start with panels. And that will also help you gauge interest. And then when you are interested in running a convention, get a large group of friends, and you're going to need to find a space that is willing to host. There's plenty of spaces. You're going to want a place that has rooms you can meet up in. So, highly recommend going to community colleges because they're likely to allow you into those spaces as they are, a community college. And then from there, you can host panels and little events and come up with ideas for that and things like that. So you would need to also spread the word. Oh, part of it is advertising. I'm gonna be so sorry, but yeah, part of conventions is advertising and making sure people know that your event's going on, because there's been so many times where I've gone to events and they just don't advertise. So I'd never heard of them before, like finding out they were running that weekend. So, but I recommend it. I recommend it. But there's lots of really good tutorials online on how to run conventions from actual professionals who have run conventions before. I've run smaller events, but not conventions. But I have seen the behind the scenes of it. A lot of it is partially there's security, there's making sure your events are running on time, making sure you have guests, making sure you have panels, and making sure people are able to submit stuff. And and also, of course, the artist alley, which is super important. Having a space for the artist alley. But a lot of it is difficult. It's difficult, lemon difficult. Sorry to say. But, the best thing you can do is start going into, go into forums, go into YouTube, go into a lot of different places, and you'll be able to get good resources on how to get that done. And that's that on that. But you could also go to the one that currently is running. It's more of like a little festival than it is a convention, but it is basically very similar, very very similar in structure. So, highly recommend. Highly recommend. I've been wanting to go to that for forever. Okay, so, if I had any more submissions, let me see. Nope, no more. Okay, good. Then let's see. I'm gonna read a new Reddit story. I love the music. I love the music. I wind up vibing to it a little too much. This is interesting. I don't know why it has a really weird flair, but I'm gonna read this one. I think it's interesting. Best of Redditor updates. Originally posted to r/relationship advice. OP is called Worried Prize. And this one is interesting. Is there not music? Do I need to turn it up? I might. Can you hear it? Can you hear the music? I'm glad you can hear me. I didn't realize it was so quiet. Oh goodness. Maybe I should have... Yeah, there's music. There's music. There we go. Okay, so this one is interesting. I've read this one before. It's... well, it's weird. It's a little bit strange. I'll say that much. This one is titled My Girlfriend, 21 Female, and My Brother, 20 Male, Are Soulmates. My girlfriend and my brother are soulmates. Okay, let's get into this. My girlfriend, 21 female, and I, 21 male, have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant, and I asked her out. I've always felt like we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her, and try my best to indulge her interests. 3 months ago, I introduced her to my family. Males seemed to like her, especially my brother, 20 male. I didn't really think much of it, and was happy to see them get along since I'm very close to my brother. But I realized over time that they just fit way better with each other. They both have the same interests in books, movies, music, sports, foods, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first about it, I encouraged her to go for things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into, and they both had a great time. I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Hold on one second. I want to see something. I'm gonna see. Sorry, I'm in the middle of this. Okay. Hopefully that might help. I don't know. I don't know if that'll help me, but it might. There. Okay. Oh, hi Mom. Hi Mama. I am reading advice. Let me start over on this one. I sneezed. I fixed some settings. Got a little messy. You know, it's whatever. Okay. My girlfriend and my brother are soulmates. This is an relationship advice post. It's the mama. It's Bubble Mama. We're reading some interesting stories, and I'm giving advice to people. So today's this is one of the posts that I am reading. It is my girlfriend, who is 21 female, and I, 21 male, have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant, and I asked her out. I've always felt like we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her, and I try my best to indulge her interests. 3 months ago, I introduced her to my family, and they all seemed to like her, especially my brother, 20 male. I didn't really think much of it, and was happy to see them get along, since I'm very close with my brother. But I realized over time that they just fit way better with each other. They both have the same interests in movies, books, music, sports, foods, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first about it, I encouraged her to go for things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into, and they both had a great time. And I know just having the same hobbies sounds trivial, but it's also their personalities. They're both very free-spirited and adventurous, and I can't help but notice they look so much happier with each other than with me. Sometimes I really feel out of place around them, as if I'm not supposed to be there. But I swear this is not out of jealousy. I genuinely think they're better for each other. I love both of them, and if this is what makes them happy, I'd rather they date each other and let me move out of their way. I'm not exactly sure how to execute this, or talk about this with either of them, though. How do I go about setting them up? This is such a wild and funny post to me, because it's like, yeah, man, you seem really happy for them. Let's help you figure something out. There's some comments on the post that says, your brother shaped you as well. You apparently connect well with people like him and like your GF. So it's no wonder that she's very much into you and possibly would be less into your brother than you think. Commenter 2. You gotta work on your self-esteem. What you'll learn eventually is that someone being attracted to you is not up to you, and no one who is attracted to you is going to want to hear you try to explain why they're wrong. If you trust a partner, part of that involves trusting their judgment about being with you. Oh, and stop sending them on dates. That's weird. That's weird. The commenter 3. This post is equal parts selfless and heartbreaking. I really respect your maturity and self-awareness, but I think you're being too quick to write yourself out of your own relationship. You say they're soulmates, but your girlfriend chose you, not him. That matters. Shared interests aren't everything. Chemistry, emotional connection, and commitment also play huge roles. You're viewing their bond through a lens of comparison rather than focusing on what you two have built. Instead of trying to set them up, maybe have a vulnerable, honest conversation with your girlfriend. Tell her how you've been feeling and ask how she feels about your relationship. You might be surprised. She might be with you because you bring something to her bond with your brother doesn't. That her bond with your brother doesn't. And please stop facilitating time together like that. It's blurring boundaries and making things messier than they need to be. If things are meant to shift, they will without you sacrificing yourself for it. Ultimately, don't martyr yourself. Love should be mutual. Don't give yours away without making sure it's still being returned. And then comment 4, whoa, slow down. Your girlfriend probably has zero interest in your brother. People don't necessarily like being with someone like them. My husband is my polar opposite, thank God, and I would probably be absolutely miserable dating someone like me. I'm too annoying. I love that commenter being like, I'm too annoying. I don't think I'd want to date someone who's like me. But I think we could all relate. I think we can all relate to that, where it's like, I don't know. I don't think that I'd be my own type. And I think that's nearly a universal truth. There's definitely some people who are like, okay, yeah, I could date myself, but I don't think so with this person. I don't think so. I wanna wait for the ads to pass before I read the second part. But I'm gonna give my initial response. So my initial response is very similar to the other commenters. I think I would say that basically, why aren't you communicating this? Okay, ads. I just started. Come on. It's okay though. I can wait. But yeah. Anyway, hi mom. It's always the ads, isn't it? It's always the ads. Always at the last minute. Baby. Whoa. But yeah, so this is a story that I've read before. I find it very funny and kind of wild. But yeah, I like this post. I think that it's a very interesting post, and there's definitely lots of thoughts. Oz's channel? OZ? Oz? I haven't heard it from there. I don't know what Oz is. The Wizard? The Wizard of Oz? Is it him? Oh, a Reddit YouTuber. Oz is a Reddit YouTuber. Okay. He reads about story likes this and talks about his opinion. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, the ads are over. Let me finish reading this one. My initial thoughts are, why are you not communicating with your girlfriend? Every single post that's like this is like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing. I wanna set these people up. Why are you not communicating with them? Why are you not talking about them with them? You know, like, why are you going to strangers on the internet for this? This is one of those things where you need to be talking to your girlfriend and being like, hey, I feel like you would get along more with my brother than me, and I don't know if that's, you know, being realistic or if that is me having weird feelings. And like she could be like, you know, I'm really worried that you said that, because like I did choose you, you know, like I chose you and not your brother for a reason, and even if we might get along, I don't know, I like the relationship we have, you know, like that's not up to you entirely, you know. There's two halves to every relationship, one person and the other person, and communicating with them is very important. So let's see what happened. So about 6 months later, we have a update. So it says, first of all, thank you to everyone who wrote nice, encouraging things and advice on my last post. I really appreciate it. I kind of got rid of this account after the post got too many views, but then randomly opened it yesterday to several messages about being covered by Smosh. I'm a huge fan of them, by the way, so this was very surprising. Oh, okay. Well, hi, Smosh. Anyway, I'll cut to the chase. After writing that post, I did a lot of introspection and self-reflection. I think a lot of people caught this, but I do indeed suffer from low self-esteem and struggle with low confidence. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it did get in the way of my relationships very often. I am a brutally honest man, and that is exactly what I did. I was very honest about all of this to my girlfriend. I didn't tell her that I thought my brother and her were soulmates, but I told her that sometimes I feel like I can't directly connect with her because we're so different. And what she said really changed my perspective on our relationship. She said that she loves that I'm different and compliment her in a way that completes her. She also expressed that she would want to get more involved in my hobbies. So the past few months we've spent time doing random things together that we individually enjoy. And it's turned out great for us. She makes me really happy, and I try my best to make her life better too. I've also met her family now, and they're all lovely people as well. We still do things together with my brother, and it's also a good time. I think at the end of the day, the root of all this was indeed my insecurity. It really wasn't about my brother, because I think I would have been insecure if it was a friend or really anyone else. Besides that, it's true that I enjoy my brother's company because of the kind of person he is, so it has made sense for me to be with someone who is similar. It attributes more to the fact that she fits really well in my life. I've also come to realize that I was looking at this from a very trivial perspective. My girlfriend is so much more than her hobbies and interests, and there's so many other things about her that actually set her apart from other people in my life. Thanks again to everyone for their advice. Apparently, I need to end this post with a question? Well, it's really good that he wound up talking to her, you know? Because, like, just doing things without their, like, first of all, without them having any idea that you're trying to set them up is kind of ridiculous. Like, that's a whole person. They can make their own choices. And what you could wind up doing is trying to set them up, and then it flops, and then it's like, okay, well, both of them are upset with you now. You know, you can't just be making choices for people. And I'm really glad that he realized that he was having just sort of a bit of a mental health, a mentee bee, and like that's important to have, you know, like having a good talk with a person that you're having worried thoughts about is important. It's a good thing that he talked to his girlfriend. All right, that was that story. Let's go to another question. We've got more questions from the audience. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Here's the next one. Let's drag this on over here. Make it a little bit bigger. One more wholesome ending, yeah, to the story than expected. I agree. I was expecting it to be a lot worse, and he was just kind of like, oh, I just talked to her. I was like, yeah, that's what you needed to do, bud. You're having a stressed out moment. You'd be okay. Like they said on That's So Raven, you could end up with 3 one-sums instead of 1 3-sum. Excuse me? Okay. Alright, so here's the next letter. Welcome, friend. How do you know if your ambition is true to your heart? If it goes away eventually, was it a waste of time? Should you regret it if you lost it, or try to chase it, even if that fire doesn't burn anymore? Or just live with the learned experiences to apply to things you like elsewhere? There's someone else going about the That's So Raven. Very funny, very funny. Okay, so my response to this is basically, I think our ambitions will always change over time. I think that our ambitions will always change over time, and, like, I need you to think back to when you were 8, and you were thinking about what you wanted to be when you were older. Is that still something you want to be? Is that something that you still find interesting? You are allowed to change, and you're going to change, like, every decade. Like, every decade you're going to be a whole different person than you were in the previous decade. It's going to change. And you're never meant to do one thing for your entire life. It's not gonna happen. Unless you find that this is the ultimate passion and something you forever want to do, which is rare. It's also not always going to be the thing that you should put all your money on. You know what I mean? So if you say your career should be probably something that is separate to something that you love. Oh, still talking about that, so Raven. Okay, so if your ambition is true to your heart, it's not gonna go away. But the thing is that I don't think any one thing is going to stick around forever. I love doing art, but right now I'm really interested more in VTubing. And the art that I do is related to VTubing. And when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be a comic artist. And I would like to make a comic, but I don't want that to be my career. And when it comes to things like that, I think that what you gotta consider is all of the skills and time that you have put together. They're always going to lead you to the next step in your life. If there's something new you want to learn, it's important to learn it. We are always learning, and we are always changing, and we are always becoming something new. It wouldn't be a waste of time, and it wouldn't be a waste of money. If it goes away eventually, you're just a new person, and that's okay. I think that one of the best things you can do is not lock yourself into one thing. Even if it's just something that is entirely different, that you have never done before. You are always allowed to make a new moment for yourself, to have these new ideas, to have these new thoughts. Yeah, we all change and grow over time. And that's basically how that works. If the fire doesn't burn anymore, you're allowed to walk away. It's not a waste of time because you've learned. You've learned and you've changed and you've grown, and it has grown with you, and you're allowed to walk away. It's the same thing with relationships. This is just about your relationship with yourself. Some things will last forever, but not everything, and most of the time, that's pretty rare. We like to think about things like soulmates, perfect careers, one true jobs, my pure talent, you know? My pure talent, this is the one thing I'm really good at and I really love and I really know. Guess what? It's not like that. we are always changing, and we're always getting new ideas and new thoughts and new creative drives. I would never recommend that you hold yourself to something that you put so much time and effort into, because you're just going to wind up putting time and effort into something that you don't like anymore. And then you'll come to resent it. It's better for you to move on and come back later when you're like, oh yeah, I really liked doing that. Why don't I do that more? You know, why am I not doing that? It's like, that's what it's about, you know? We move on, we come back, we revisit things. Like, we're all not, you know, our teenage selves anymore. We're not kids. But we can look back on those hobbies and be like, oh, you know what? I was actually really into that, and it was really cool. What if I revisit that for a little bit? And then you revisit it, and then you come back, you know, you have some fun with it, and then you move on to something else. It is not a bad thing, you know? Like, you're still gonna love this thing down the line. It's just gonna wind up turning into nostalgia. So yeah, I highly recommend you try something new. You don't have to throw it all away, but you should try something new. And maybe you'll find that you really liked it. Because that's good, that's important. Yeah, so that's your answer, I guess. If your ambition is true to your heart, then that's what you should follow. Whatever is true to your heart. Not necessarily the same thing as your ambition. Because right now my ambition is VTubing, and that's true to my heart. But you gotta follow your heart, you know? Like, you follow your heart, not the other way around. That would be silly. Alright, that's that piece of advice. I wish you the best of luck with your ambitions. Absolutely the best of luck. Best of luck. Ba-bow. Alright, let's see here. I've got another one I'm gonna bring up. Let's see, what's this one? Dragging it over. Making it big. Should I waste $100+ on a V-Pet? Help me make a poor financial decision, Bubble Puppy. Oh, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. That's not... It's not my job to tell you to spend $100+. Do it. I mean, it's not my job to... We should do it. I think it would be... see, the thing is that I've never spent more than $100 on a digital pet. I can't bring myself to do that. But, ooh, I really want to buy the beetles. I really want to buy those beetles, the digital pet beetles. They're so cute. They're so cute, but they are like $200. It'd be like $300 for me to get them. See, you're being a bad influence to me. Mushi Kings? Oh, Mushi Kings are different than Mushi Pets. They're two different kinds. Mushi Kings are cheaper. Mushi Kings are like $50, or to 50 to 100. But Mushi Pets, which are the ones I really want, Mushi Pets are like $200, $300 because they're pretty rare. But I want some. I want some so badly. I want them so badly. Ugh, ugh. Now we're all becoming bad influences on each other. If you have money, if you are safe financially, if you have been saving up, I think that then you can get them. I have been saving up money too, and I think that it's important to think about, like, oh, can I put a certain amount of money for this thing aside for, can I wait for like 3 months? And then if it's like $150, then you put aside $50 every 2 weeks, every time you get paid, every time you have work, you know, and then you'll have the money in no time, and you no need to worry. But if you can spend the money now, then go ahead. There's nothing wrong with having a hobby. There's nothing wrong with being happy with it, you know? No problems there. No problems there. But anyway, that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on that. If you are in a safe place financially, why wait for happiness? Why wait for happiness? No need. No need to wait. But if you need to wait, you should wait. You should be waiting. This has been such a poorly influence on me. Oof. Okay. Now let's go to another Reddit story. Now, let's see. So this one is kind of funny. So this one is fairly recent. This one's from September of 2025. It's an Am I the Asshole? It's Am I the asshole for telling my friend that her free wedding is unrealistic? It depends. Based on the title, it depends. I have seen some basically free weddings. It's about setting expectations. I don't think this person has set very good expectations, though. Okay. We're gonna see if this is gonna go nuclear or not. Okay. Let's see. I, 24 female, am a member of a friend group in which one member, we'll call her Coral, 23, Coral, interesting name, okay, is getting married. She announced her engagement to her fiance, 25 male, a few weeks ago, and we were all happy for her. First of all, my first issue here is you should not get married in your 20s. At least not in your early 20s. You should be getting married when you're like 29. Marriage is a very important contract. It is not necessarily good for everybody, and you are still very young and finding yourself. I wouldn't get married past 25, and I also would not get married unless I knew that person for like 5 years. That's my rules. Unless I know this person for 5 years, I'm not gonna get married. That's ridiculous. Like, that's the power of love is managing to stick it out for 5 years. Like, if you've been dating since high school and you've been dating for 5 years, then that's fine. That's fine. You know, like, then yeah, sure, get married. However, I don't think that these people have known each other very long. Anyway, well, you're a partner and you are planning on getting married at Hershey Park? Ooh, that sounds fun! At Hershey Park? That sounds fun. I don't know if you should plan it as a birthday party. You should be like, hey, I'm gonna have a birthday party here. And then it's a wedding. It's actually a wedding. That'd be really funny. Oh, that'd be really funny. Okay, let's see here. Over the weekend, though, she shared more specific plans for her wedding, and that's where things have kind of gone off the rails. She said she's been seeing a lot of people on TikTok and Insta showing how to plan free weddings. Weddings where the couple spends $0 aside from the marriage certificate fee, I guess. At first, I thought she meant a city hall wedding, which would be completely fine, but then she got into the details and her expectations for the ceremony. Oh, this is what I meant. Set your expectations. Set your expectations, buddy. She's going to try and find someone with a large outdoor space to use, not formally a wedding venue, who will donate their area in support of love. That's not so bad. Okay, that's not so bad. There's a lot of places that will allow you to maybe, like if you find someone who maybe has a farm or something like that and be like, hey, I think your farm's really pretty. Would you mind if I held my wedding here? Some people would be okay with that. That's not too bad of an expectation so far. Also, yes, it is very sweet. I think that you guys getting married at Hershey Park, I think you should be officiated by the chocolate bar mascot. I think that'd be really cute. That'd be really funny. I love that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see. she's going to have all of her guests bring a potluck with very specific assignments, and she'll have a friend officiate, a friend to do photography, and a friend to do save the dates and invites, and her family do the flowers, including some harder to swing, in my opinion, things like getting a large tent, decorations, wedding favors, speakers, band, etc. I'm not sure what her plan was for a dress. This seems doable. The thing is that this seems like a really doable plan. Like, she's not crazy for this, you know? Like, it feels like this person is like, yeah, no, this seems right. I mean, probably not going to have it at the park itself, but the after party will be, that would be really fun. You should have one of those, you should get those M&Ms, the M&Ms that you can print your face on. You should do that, where one color is one person's face and the other color is the other person's face. I love those. I love I really think that those are funny. I love them too. Sorry, I just think they're silly and I like silly things. Anyway, what was I saying? Alright. Yeah, this person has actually kind of a good plan. Like, here's the thing. Like, there's definitely, like, okay, so say you know a church and the church holds events a lot and you know that church has a big tent. You could ask them and be like, hey, can we borrow your big tent for our wedding? Like, oh, you'd probably do that with kisses? Oh, yeah, that'd be really cute. That'd be really cute. I didn't realize that M&Ms were a different company. I just think, oh, chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate. Okay, so. Let's see here. Yeah, no, this person has some really good ideas for saving money, actually. Like, this is the sort of thing I would do. Carol and her fiance really aren't poor from what I can tell. She works as an accountant at a big company, and her fiance does software sales. Plus, his parents are loaded. It sounds like they just want to do their free wedding thing for the sake of it. And that's up to them. That's up to them. If they think it's fun, I think a potluck wedding is really fun. Everybody brings their own, like, foods, and that seems like a good idea. I went to a potluck wedding. That one was and it was good. It was really tasty. He even had homemade margaritas. Oh, bye, Piranha. Bye bye. Love you. Talk to you later. But yeah, no, like, they even had, like, homemade mojitos and margaritas and stuff. Like, it was a good time. Like, it was fun. It was just in their backyard, and they had all these decorations they made. It was basically a free wedding. It was nice. Okay, so let's see. That would be okay, but she's just shifting off all the costs onto other people, some of whom are probably less well off. Well, that's fair. Yeah, and, like, weddings are expensive, especially considering they mark up weddings like crazy. So I don't think that she's in the wrong for this. And, like, the thing is that, like, her family does the flowers, you know, that's nice. Yeah, her friend can make some invites. That's not so hard. Like, it's pretty cheap. Your friend doing photography, also very cheap. A friend officiating, also fine. Like, I don't think that a lot of this is so bad. Like, it feels like a pretty good plan. Like, maybe I would forego wedding favors. I feel like wedding favors might be a bit much. Like, I would say that seeing if your cousin's, like, kid has a band and have the band play, like, that'd be fun. That'd be cute. Like, it's nice. It's cute. I think it's sweet. I think that this is not a bad idea. Let's see. She told me she wants me to make the cake and then sent me some pictures for inspiration. The cakes were ridiculously elaborate. We're talking multi-tier fondant flowers, gold leaf, and one even had hand-painted watercolor design. I'm not a professional baker. I just like to bake cookies and brownies sometimes. I told her that those cakes would probably take me days to make, and they wouldn't come out anywhere near as good. She kind of laughed it off and said, oh, it's not about being perfect, it's about everyone pitching in. It'll be fun. Hey, look, some inspo, not so bad. Not so bad. You can very easily take some food coloring, for example, and water it down into a watercolor-like thing, and then you just paint that on fondant. And there's very cheap fondant you can make out of marshmallows. You just microwave these marshmallows with some butter and some other stuff, and you can make fondant really easily. Marshmallow fondant, specifically. It wouldn't be vegan, but, you know, it's whatever. Like, if this person wants a fondant cake, and it's, like she said, it's not about being perfect. It's about having fun. It's about everybody contributing. And it's like, yeah, these are my inspos. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, it's not, it's, I don't think she's expecting you to put gold leaf. I don't think she's actually physically expecting you to put gold leaf on her cake. I don't think that's, like, I think it's, you're being a little silly at this point. Okay, so, let's see. It'll be fun. I told her that fun or not she was describing was basically her friends and family subsidizing her wedding with time, money, and labor, and that it was kind of unfair to expect people to spend so much on her free wedding, or else she was expecting everyone to show up to a lackluster event and just pretend it was amazing. Okay, saying that her event's gonna be lackluster, that's a little mean, because, like, plenty, like, if people want to contribute their time, they will. Oh, ad break soon. It's like a group project that none of us wanted to do because we already graduated and moved on from all that, so we don't need the credit. She does graduate a year later than the rest of us. I said that if she wants a free wedding, she should probably just elope or go to City Hall because this isn't really free, it's just free for her. I might have been a bit more forceful in my wording, but I didn't swear or call her names or anything like that. She got super quiet and just looked at me for a minute or so, and then left, with another one of our friends driving her home. Later that night, I got a text from the friend said I am really hurt Coral's feelings, and that even if the plans were a bit unrealistic, I could have just let Coral come to that conclusion on her own. Coral then messaged me just saying, sorry, don't worry about the cake, with no more context. I'm feeling pretty bad now, especially since Coral was so happy and excited. She never really said anything mean to me. Perhaps I should have just gone along with the cake since she said she wouldn't be mad if it turned out badly, and I'm worried that her wedding would not have been what she wanted. And I was also frustrated about the cake request. Edit. Honestly, I feel a bit bad now. Coral really is a sweet person who's just a bit naive. I feel like a lot of people in the comments are tearing her up more than she deserves. She's always been the baby of the group, and I just got frustrated and ranted on this case. I don't know what the fiancé thinks about all of this. Oof. Yeah, I do think you're being a bit hard on her. Like, I think that she can ask people to do things, but they will, if all these people are their own people, they cannot, like, say this sort of mean stuff to her when these people that she's asking to do stuff have every right to say no and are able to say no on their own. You don't have to tell her no on behalf of everyone. If somebody wants to volunteer their time and labor to help their friend, and, like, it's their wedding, they want to make it special for their friend. I don't know, like, I understand managing expectations, but at the same time, like, this could have been a cute backyard wedding. This could have been so cute. I don't know. That's my thoughts on that. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. There's comments. I'm gonna wait till the ads are over for my comments, and then I will continue. Yeah, I'm going to read maybe one more Reddit story after these next two advice pieces. The advice letters that... Because I only have 2 more pieces of advice getting requested. Okay. Alright, ads are over. Let's go. Okay, so here's the comments. The comments are saying, let's see what the comments are saying. This person says, Jesus, I only got through the first paragraph. I would neither involve people in a wedding like that, nor would I go. OP says, I'm really curious if she would have told everyone in the extended family and friend groups showing up about the free aspect ahead of time. It definitely sounds like something she would take pride in, but I don't know how you would bring that up. I don't know. I feel like this is a lot less unrealistic than this person thinks. Particular Path comments, not the asshole. Your friend is being ridiculous and you're the only one with the balls to tell her. Be happy she decided to not force you to do the cake. In her defense, for the last few things she'd been naive about, she has ended up coming to the right conclusion on her own in the end, so maybe I should have just let that happen. Disagree. Disagree again. Top comment, not the asshole. She's in for a rude awakening the first time she asks for a free party tent from someone. They are expensive to rent. And it rains here a lot, the OP says. OP says it rains here a lot. Again, there is probably a church, a American Legion, another community piece, maybe. Maybe the municipality might have something. There is a library of tools that you can borrow from as well for free. There's a lot of resources within your community that you can use, and I don't think it's crazy at all. Depends on how big the tent. If you know multiple people with those 10 foot by 10 foot tents, you can share a bunch of them together. There's plenty of time and space. I don't think that this is crazy. Okay, so this person says, while it's more than a gift might cost, I was hoping all of the free wedding labor and supplies would be in lieu of gifts. That's probably not the case, though. OP says, in Coral's defense, she was clear that this support would be everyone's gifts to her. She said she wouldn't accept other gifts from us. See? That's it! That's it! That's it. You know? Like, she's right. Coral is right. You know, I mean, yes, I will admit that. But at the same time, I think that Coral's completely in the right. If this is in lieu of what most people expect to be about $100 probably for a wedding gift, because you're giving appliances, you're giving home goods, you're giving things usually that would be a combined gift for them to start a family. I think that in lieu of a gift, that $100 going towards cake supplies, going towards getting your cousin to do the band, getting anything, you know, like this. I think it works. I think it works. This person is immediately better than any of those people who say, okay, everybody pool your money and now you're paying for my honeymoon. That's the thing. Like, I think that this person is immediately, like, this person, sorry for the am I the asshole? Yes, you are the asshole. So sorry. Okay, so here's the update. About 2 months later, this person posts, hi there, my last post sort of blew up. Oh, hold on. Tamagotchi moment. What's up with you guys? What are you up to? Oh, I see. Oh, you're in a bad mood. You're yelling. Hi, Spirit. I gotta scold my Tamagotchi because he's in a bad mood. Unfortunate. And then this one. Let's see. I want to make sure they're not hungry or sad. No, I think you're fine. Let's see. Okay, maybe a little bit hungry, but I can give you a snack. Now let's see. I think my guys are all good now. Okay, back to the Reddit story. Let's go. Hi, Spirit. Hi. Happy to see you. Alright, so this person says, my last post sort of blew up. I really didn't think so many people would be that interested in my silly friend group drama. Short recap. My friend Coral announced she's going to have a quote-unquote free wedding with all of her friends playing roles to volunteer a nice venue, tent, food, photography, band, cake, my role, etc. It sounded okay at first, but her expectations seemed unrealistically lavish, and I told her that in stronger wording, and she got upset. you told her that her wedding's gonna be bad and that she is being naive. That is mean. You are being mean. Anyway, after reading the comments, I honestly began to feel bad for Coral. She really is a kind-hearted person, but a lot of people interpreted her as an insane, entitled bridezilla. I think you did too. OP, I think you did too. That's really not the case. I decided I was going to make the cake, and I sent her an apology text to which I didn't get any reply. That was making me really anxious, and I still didn't think Coral's requests were that reasonable, and wasn't expecting the wedding to fully go to her plans, but that's not for me to worry about. Finally, I got a message from Coral's fiance, who we'll call Basil. You're choosing some interesting names here. Asking to meet up, and I said yes. My expectation going into this was that Basil would tell me how much I hurt Coral's feelings, and I was going to reiterate my apology and share some research/planning I had done on the cake. That's not how it went, though. As it turns out, the whole free wedding thing was Basil's idea. That's not the impression I got before. Basil didn't at first explain why he wanted to do it, but when pressed, it sounds like it's so he could spend the money that he and Coral had been saving up for their wedding on something else. A boat. A Catalina 27, apparently. Very useful and practical thing to have when you are living in the city, especially when your fiance gets seasick. We did one of those river cruise things a while back, and she had a bad time. Basil says he'll help her get over that, and that sailboats are different. Okay, so the fiance's the jerk here. Okay, cool. Anyway, after my whole outburst before, Coral had apparently been having second thoughts about the free wedding things. Basil asked me to talk to her, apologize, and tell her that it isn't a bad idea after all. He basically said I owe it to him to help clean up the mess I caused? Okay, Basil, he's a groomzilla. Okay, so he's a groomzilla, so he's insane. Okay, good to know. We're getting context. We're getting more context in this story. Alright. I don't feel great about that, though. I don't want to drive a wedge between Coral and Basil, but telling her I think it's a good idea after all feels like lying. And I guess actively advocating for a potential train wreck is a further line for me than just agreeing to play my assigned voluntold baker role. Moreover, this was my first real conversation with Basil, and I have to say I'm not totally convinced he's a great person. I don't know if he was exactly manipulated her into going along with this, but it kind of feels that way. I don't know. First of all, calling it a potential train wreck is still mean. I think both of you are mean, actually. Both of you are kind of bad here. So, what do I do? It's been a little while now since I talked to Basil, so I really do need to do something, be it what Basil asked, or further involving myself in drama by telling Coral that I don't think the wedding, or the entire marriage, is a good idea. Some of OP's comments. How much have Coral and Basil contributed to free weddings of other couples? Do they have any usable skills or assets? OP. LOL, they could promise to go all out for someone and would probably never have to follow through since it's not a thing reasonable people do. Yes, it is! Have you seen the economy? Have you seen the economy, girl? Okay. This person says, honestly, make the cake, bring it to your friend like yesterday, and tell she can have the wedding like this or any other way she wants it to be. But using the saved money for a boat is the stupidest decision she's making right after marrying the selfish asshole Basil. Right? I really don't have any issues making the cake anymore, but I don't know how to approach the rest of the situation with Basil. This has gotten so much more complicated once the fiance got involved. Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous. What the heck? The boat thing is crazy. And she's seasick. Like, he clearly doesn't care about her. Oh my gosh. Someone just says, don't make the cake. Don't lie and say this nonsense is a good idea. You seem pretty sensible apart from this on this issue. What is the matter with you? This is all unacceptable. You were 100% right the first time around. Stop backtracking. Okay, wrong. First of all, wrong. And let's be clear, this shitty couple are foisting wedding expenses onto other people so they can buy a boat. You're an idiot for even needing to ask what you should do. Downvoted. OP's comment says, I just don't want to tell Coral about all this and have her end up going through with the free wedding and marriage, which would most certainly mean losing her as a friend. Woo! This is a heck of a story. Okay, someone else comments, how about you just show Coral that you're here for her? no matter what she wants. Don't follow Basil's request, just be there for Coral. Offer to meet up with her and just ask about her. How is she? And listen to her. Be true to yourself and be a good friend to her. That is all. Easy to say, you need to do. There you go. Only reasonable commenter in this entire thing so far. Everybody else is like, okay, they're both selfish. I think Coral is getting wronged on every side. You're not a good friend to her, and you're also, her fiance is not a good fiance. Needs a new friend group. Needs a whole, throw the whole man out disposal. OP says, thank you. This is honestly what I want to do, but given she didn't reply to my last text, I'm worried if she'll even meet up with me if the first thing I say isn't directly taking back all my concerns from before. Oh, someone says, I assume she knows about the boat? If yes, minimize your feedback. OP says, I think so, but I'm not certain. Honestly, I'm surprised she would go along with the boat idea. It seems even less likely that Basil would tell me about this if he was keeping it a secret from Coral. If you want a boat so bad, dip into your trust fund money, bank boy. Bank boy. Anyway, makes me wonder if Basil is telling/forcing her not to respond, continuing to try to check in and being a friend to listen would be much bigger than you think. OP says, I hope that's not it. I will try to reach out to her another way. Ugh. Okay. Pause. There is another update. There's another update. My thoughts. Fiance, jerk. OP, jerk. I think Coral deserves better. Coral can absolutely have a cheap wedding, even if it's not entirely up to her standards. I don't think, because she is a kind and sweet person, as you've said, OP, I don't think that she's gonna be mad if her cake's a little wonky, if her photos are kind of blurry, if her band's a little out of practice. I don't think she'll mind. I think her having everyone contribute would make her happy because it means that a bunch of people have come together to care about her. She's not even asking for gifts. She's not even asking for money. I think that that's important to think about. And then OP is like, oh, well, this is entirely unreasonable. If she has to pay for something, she will. She's an adult. And if she has the money you're saying she has, then she's fine. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. I think it's I think it's silly that this is what we're doing. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Do you guys have any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on this poor bride? Also, Basil, just buy a boat. If you want a boat so bad, don't sacrifice your wedding to buy a boat. Oh my god. And especially since it's going to be your boat, it's not going to be her boat. Bye, Mom. Bye, Mama. See ya, Bubble Mama. It's nice having you here. I have so many thoughts on this. Where it's just like, the boat matters most. Yeah, it seems like, yes, first of all, Basil sounds like a piece of work. It sounds like he's never talked to this person before and he immediately goes, hey, can you help me manipulate my fiance? Like, bro? First buying V-Pets, now buying boats. Yeah, but a boat is a bad investment. You live in the city. You live in the city and you want a boat? Do you know how much a marina costs yearly? Do you know how much boat maintenance costs? It's like, he's 25, right? He sounds like he's still in this, like, he sounds like he buys crypto. He sounds like, escape the city in a boat. Yeah, but his fiance, it gets seasick. She can't even use the boat. And he's telling OP that he's just gonna help her get over being seasick? That's not how seasickness works. Sorry, I'm doing advice right now, and we're reading a Reddit story that I'm trying to give advice on. So the point of this post is essentially, it started with OP talking about how their friend wants to have a free wedding by basically having everybody volunteer. And so they're like, oh yeah, I would like it if you made the cake. I'm gonna have a friend do photography. I'm gonna have a different friend do this. I'm gonna have my family do the flowers. I'm gonna see if we can get someone to allow us to use their big tent for a little bit, and the OP is being so mean, is going like, it's unrealistic. I think you're stupid. I think that you're naive to think that you'd be able to get away with this, and you're making all of your friends and family do all of the hard work for you. I think that you're being selfish. And according to OP, this person is a very sweet and kind person. Like this isn't like a very selfish Bridezilla moment. It is like a very kind person being like, hey, this is something I would like to do. I know I've got money, but I'm not going to make you guys get me gifts. I'm not going to make you guys give me anything. I don't want you to spend any money besides what I'm asking you to contribute to my wedding. Which makes so much sense. Like, this person seems like, in this economy, this is a level-headed idea. Are you kidding? And it's like, yeah, like, go to, like, I don't know, a local farm or something. You can be like, hey, can I get married on your farm in, like, the fields? I think that your farm's really pretty. And they'd probably be like, yeah, sure, you know, can you give me the dates? I want to make sure everything's okay. And then, like, maybe you could rent it for kind of cheap or nearly free, you know, like, something like that. And then there's, like, plenty of places that would be, like churches, American Legions, lots of volunteer areas that would be very happy to be like, yeah, we have tents, we've got stuff that we use for our events. If you were able to get them back and without any damages, yeah, you could borrow them for free. You know, like, there's ways around it. I just think that this person is, like, OP themselves, I think, is spoiled, and I think is maybe a little out of touch with the ability of the people around her, because she basically said no for everyone. Basically said, oh, all of the people that you're asking to do this, you're being selfish. They don't want to do this for you. You shouldn't be putting this on them. And it's like, those people are allowed to say no for themselves. What if they are excited to help their friend? What if they're excited to indulge in their photography hobby? What if they're excited to play their silly band for a little bit? Like, I just think that, like, it feels mean. Not when she's the best person in the world. Like, the thing is that she's not necessarily the best person in the world, but she's not being mean about it, you know? She's not being, like, the bride is not being mean about it, and she's not being, like, selfish about it. Also, in this economy, a wedding costs like $1 million. And I think that she's, like, doing something actually kind of reasonable. And I thought it was reasonable. And I thought that the OP was being the jerk. And then we meet the fiancé. Oh my god, the fiancé. First of all, the Tamagotchis. I'll keep talking while the Tamagotchis, I fix what's up with them. What do you guys need? Are you having a tantrum, little guy? You certainly need something. Anyway, so basically we meet the fiancé, and the fiancé says, oh yeah, you're the one who convinced the bride not to do this anymore. I wanted her to do it because I want to use the money I saved for our wedding to buy a boat. A boat? A boat? My dude, that was for your wedding. You don't need a boat. A boat is the least needed. He's not gonna die if he doesn't have a boat. Look, if he yearns for the ocean, you leave the wife behind. Okay? You'll leave the fiancé behind. And you go join a shipping crew. Sorry, we're talking about this is one of the it's a Am I the Asshole posts that I'm trying to give advice on. Basically, this fiancé has manipulated his bride into doing a free wedding so that he can spend all of the money they saved for their wedding on a boat. And also, the OP is also a jerk, because they're telling this person that a free wedding is unrealistic, when it is not. I have attended free weddings. They are nice. They are nice events. And they're actually very cute and homely. If he isn't on a boat drinking beer at least once a month, he will die of super sad, tragic death syndrome. Yeah, basically. It's basically how he's acting. And I'm just like, okay, crypto boy, go invest some more and maybe you'll buy a boat. Because I did say he was like in finances or accounting or something. Anyway, so let's do the this is the last update. I want to see what, it's a very serious condition, it shouldn't be taken lightly. I want to see what the update is. Now, this is 2 months after she met up with the fiance named Basil. The bride's name is Coral. And I think that this is... there's definitely some issues here. Let's see. Let's see what she says. Let's see what OP says. So far, I am still on team, yes, the asshole, unfortunately, for this OP. Because I just don't think you need to be that mean about someone's idea. Okay, so it says, hi again. Hello. Finally posting this update because a few people have asked what's going on with this whole situation. I was finally able to get in touch with Coral and talk to her one-on-one. The first thing I did was just ask her how she's doing, and apparently not very well. I had a feeling. She's now fully aware that the whole free wedding thing was her fiance's idea. Really, it was her fiance's idea, and he had mentioned the boat in passing as something he wanted to save up for, but hadn't at all framed it directly as the thing he really wanted to spend the wedding money on, as he did when he told me about it. What? He didn't tell her? Are you kidding? Okay. Maybe he thought that would make me think he's cool or something, or he thought having a specific goal in mind would make me more likely to support the idea? Anyway, it's not just the wedding planning that has made Coral upset. Apparently Basil, who's into boats, I guess, has been spending more and more time at the marina. That's 78 minutes away. Coral quoted that exact number lots of times. He doesn't even spend that much time out on the water. He just hangs out with everyone there and has been spending less and less time at home. He keeps talking about Grace, who, as had been explained to me, is a boat rather than a woman. Question mark, fortunately? He's having an affair with a boat. He wants to have sex with a boat, I think, actually. Grace, the boat. He wants to buy this boat. Okay, frick. This is bad, dude. This is so bad. I have seen Transformers. I've seen too much Transformers. Actually, I don't want to think about Transformers. Oh, gosh. Anyway, Coral said she'd been invited to the club a few times, but has never really felt like she was part of it. When she brought that up to Basil, he said he also feels that way because they don't own their own boat. They don't own, yeah, they're bullying me because I don't own a boat, guys. Oh my god. Ugh, this is so silly. This is so silly. This is so silly. What? I don't think it's the same at all, and even if Grace isn't a person, Coral is feeling jealous. Last night, Coral brought up the wedding plans with Basil again and said she thinks she wants to wait and sort some stuff out first. Basil didn't get angry or anything and just said he understands, parentheses, good. Which I agree, OP, good. Let me see. Boat! Ding! Steve Harvey Family Feud noises. Okay, God, he doesn't even care that she's like, I want to call off the wedding, but also asked if that meant they could spend some of their wedding savings since they would have more time to save up again. Parentheses, bad. Bad. That broke Coral, which might be why she finally agreed to meet me. I know that makes me kind of the jerk, but to be entirely honest, I'm just glad Coral is talking to me again. I told her to break up with Basil. She's thinking about it, but I'm scared she won't. I kind of want to offer to do it for her, but that would be silly. Yeah, she needs to drop that boy. She needs to drop Little Bank Boy right on his butt. Basil is not a good dude. I don't think so. Basil the Bank Boy loves his boats. Basil the Bank Boy loves his boats. And needs to buy Bitcoin. I think Oh gosh. Crowdsourcing her breakup is a hysterical response and deserves to be a flare in this subreddit, someone says. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so sad. This is so sad. Coral, get out of there. First of all, Coral, out of there. Basil, just buy a boat, man. You work as an accountant. Just buy a boat. It doesn't matter. Put it on layaway. Just don't drag her into this and don't put her name on it. As for OP, stop being a jerk to your friend. Apparently she's a sweetheart and she's the baby of the group. Why are you being such a jerk to your friend? All of you are in trouble. All of you, you are not good. You're not a good group of people, I don't think. Sorry, y'all. Okay, let's do. Basil knows what they want. How dare Coral, as a loving spouse, not accept their feelings and support their dreams of boat? Yeah. Oh gosh, this is what a nightmare. What a nightmare situation to be in. I couldn't imagine being like, oh yeah, I want you to plan and make a free wedding, which in and of itself is fine, but I'm gonna do it because actually I want to spend everything you saved up for your wedding on a boat. It's like, is the boat gonna be, what is this boat going to mean to you? Sorry that you want to get in with the rich boy boating crowd. Maybe you should invest in golf instead, it's cheaper. Oh my goodness, this boy, this guy, I can't. We all need more boat in our lives. I will admit, I like boating. I am a person who likes to boat. I had a boat for a very long time. It was a small one. It was a tiny sailboat. And it was, but like, oh my god. What even do I, not at the expense of your relationships, and not at the expense of your fiance's relationships with her friends. Social acceptance is way more important than marital ties. Yeah, according to Basil, true. Unfortunately, but true. Ooh vey. What a mess. What a mess. Ugh. Anyway, Basil, go start dating a boat. OP, go to therapy. You need to be nicer. You need to be nicer to your friends. Coral, run far away. Coral, please just run far away from all of these people. I miss living near a lake too. I love boats. I love boats too. They were fun. How can you get rich if you don't hang out with the rich boat people? It's literally an investment in themselves in the future. Look, I don't think rich boat people are going to be the kind of people who are going to put money in your pocket. Sorry to say. Sorry to say. I think the boat is going to be a problem unto itself. Oop. Well, you live near Lake Ontario. That's really cool. I used to live near a lake, but and I used to go on a boat all the time. But unfortunately, the maintenance of a boat is expensive and not possible for me. So, no boats for me, unfortunately. But I would like it. I would like a boat. I would like a cheap little tiny dinghy to go fishing on. When I was little, there was bats that would fly over the lake. And so we would go out during dusk and watch all the bats go hunting on the lake for bugs. It was so cool because they would fly so low near us. It was a beautiful time. I miss the bats and the boats, because the bats got that fungal disease, and it like decimated the population. But they're slowly coming back now. I've heard that the bats are slowly coming back, which is nice. You arguably live near 11,842 lakes. What does that? What? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense. Oh, ad break is finishing. No more talking about bats and boats. We have advice to do. these are our last 2 advice. And then I might read one more Reddit story, and then we can skedoodle. My state is called the Land of Lakes, or the Land of 10,000 Lakes. Isn't that like the butter? Where is that? Trying to remember what state that might be, but kind of losing it. Alright, we have another one. Let's go. The Land of Lakes butter. Do you have any tips for making good streams or improving them? Thanks, BubblePuppy. My tips are to study the programs that you are using. I really enjoy using OBS because of its plugin system and because of the abilities that currently come built in. And so I think that one of the best ways that you can improve your stream is to, first of all, people stick around because it's visually interesting. So something that I like to do is I like to make sure that the stuff that I'm doing isn't too janky. Like right now, me just kind of dragging and dropping these screenshots into it is sort of janky, but there is stuff that I can do to make it less janky. Like if I edit things so that when they are shown and hidden, they can fade in and fade out. This looks really good, right? Like like in 2 seconds I made it kind of professional looking. And I think that there's something to say about investing in the technology that you're working with. So investigate, for example, if you're a VTuber, investigate VTube Studio. It can do a million things. There's even plugins just for VTube Studio, just for when you're wanting to do fun things with your models, etc., etc., and to investigate what everything does. I think that as a people, we've kind of gotten a little addicted to instantly knowing how things work. When you look at a smartphone, you know what the buttons do, you know how to get there, you know how to download, you know how to do this. And it's very simple. But not all programs will be like that. And I think that one of the most important things we can do is be curious and investigate the computer programs we use. Something that I love doing is I love looking at OBS plugins. If you go to the OBS forum online, you can find very cool plugins that various people have made, and it makes things look more professional. And by looking more professional, you also look more visually interesting. And I think that's really cool. Something else is engagement. You want to engage with the people who are watching. When you are making a good stream, you don't just want it to be, oh, I'm just talking and talking and talking, and I'm not interacting with anything going on in chat. I think that's not great, because people want to be acknowledged. People want to talk to you. This is a form of human connection, and I think that one of the most important things you can do is connect with people, including your audience. So when you are trying to be a good streamer, my recommendation is always going to be interact with people and learn more about what you're currently using. Because the more you learn, the more interesting your streams can become. I want to stream, but my laptop is in rough shape. It can't even connect to my mic anymore. Ooh, yeah, that's an issue, isn't it? Well, first of all, unfortunately, you might just need a new laptop. But you can get new laptops on Back Market that are refurbished. They're honestly, highly recommend Back Market. Back Market does really good, cheap technology. Like, you can get an iPhone for like $200 on there, as long as you don't mind it being a little bit older. Because older stuff does not necessarily mean worse stuff. And I think that's important to think about when coming to technology. Because when you are using technology, a lot of the times people will think, oh, well, because this thing is old, it doesn't work anymore. That's not true. I'm going to be going back to using my iPod recently. I want to use my iPod. I want to use my CD player, my cassette tapes. Those things still work. They're still good technology. And rather than causing more tech waste, I think it's important that we consider refurbishing our tech rather than just going, oh, well, it's old, so I'll just get rid of it. So if you need a new laptop, I recommend Back Market or any sort of refurbished space that might need a new laptop. And also, if you are worried about it, there's definitely some resources you can do to make it so that you can stream without having to worry so much about like how your tech does. See if you can get a laptop with an integrated camera. That will be your webcam, so you don't have to buy a webcam. See if you can get a laptop that can function with just a PNG tuber, or even you don't even need an avatar. You could just stream and use your mic. You don't need to do anything too crazy. But yeah, so my best tip for improving streams is technology is your friend. I implore you to investigate your programs that you're using more, and also, like, part of it is also your attitude and the way you interact with the people in your streams. So have fun, I guess. Just have fun. As long as you're having fun and you make it fun for others, that's all you really need. Let me see. I'll fade that out before I delete it. And let me bring in the new one. Here we go. This one's a little bit bigger. You can also sometimes borrow laptops from libraries. That is something you can do. It would need to be on a case-by-case basis, of course, but you can borrow technology, and you can get your technology refurbished for a lot cheaper than it would be to buy a new one. It really depends. Also, you can optimize your computer a lot better sometimes by going through and getting rid of a lot of bloatware. So if you need to, I would recommend doing that. Looking into ways to get rid of bloatware, especially if you use anything like Windows. Okay, here's the next one. What would you say is the point where burning bridges is an option? Should you keep a relationship going purely out of old loyalty, so to speak? Even if you have anxiety consistently daily about it, or the like. It depends on the anxiety. So, sometimes there is anxiety that is founded, and there's anxiety that is unfounded. If you have unfounded anxiety, then that anxiety is not one that you should be listening to, and one that maybe you should try having coping mechanisms for. Like, a good way to not have anxiety about someone is to talk to them directly, because sometimes the hardest thing you can do is talk to someone and find out, actually, I shouldn't have been scared about XYZ thing. This is something that isn't even a problem for them. And that's also important to think about. So when you're, like, talking to someone, that can be something to think about. And then when you are talking about actual anxiety that has very founded cores, that depends, you know? Like, if this person makes you feel bad, you never owe them time. You never owe them time. You don't even need to give them a reason. You could ghost them if you really wanted to. If they don't have, like, your phone number, or you block them or something, you know, like, you don't owe anyone anything. Like, if someone has gotten to the point where you just can't handle being around them anymore, then that's that. Like, I think part of the issue is we don't know when it's gotten too far. But if it's gotten to the point where every single day you have anxiety talking to this person, thinking about this person and your relationship with them, that's when you need to take a step back and you need to think to yourself, why am I still doing this? Is it because I'm loyal to this person? Why do I owe them my loyalty if they make me feel bad? What? We have the emotional music playing in the background right now. Kind of perfectly timed. Nothing you should do should be out of loyalty, unless it's earned. Something that is important to think about when having situations like these is whether you are loyal to them for a good reason. Is it that they are the only person who would talk to you at a certain time in your life? Are you past that point in time in your life? Then you don't owe them anything if they're going to just use you and be cruel to you. There's no need for that. I think that if every single day you're having anxiety about this person, and it's obvious they don't care about you, that's it. You should walk away. Burning bridges is an important aspect of maintaining good boundaries and good mental health. You don't even need to talk to them about it. You just need to stop replying. You don't need to put the ability for them to convince you to stay, to convince you it's fine, to convince you, oh, well, what I'm doing isn't so bad, right? Like, it's much better than what you would have had otherwise. Like, that's not fair to you. You have every opportunity to make healthy relationships happen. And it doesn't have to be with that person. Even if you have good memories, you can have good memories. They can coexist with the fact that they're not treating you well. And sometimes those memories need to stay memories. You don't need to make new ones. Especially if the new ones aren't good. What's the point in making bad memories? Especially if it's entirely voluntary. So if you're still having this issue, I highly recommend just ghost them. I know everybody says, oh, you should talk it out with them, you should tell them why, you should get the last word in. But you don't need to. You could just walk away at any time. And I think that you should do that if they're constantly giving you anxiety. So just walk away. It's okay. You will find better places and better spaces worth your time and energy that won't give you anxiety. So as long as you're in a safe place to do so, I highly recommend just walking away. It's okay. Even if they don't know what happened to you. You don't owe that to them. I hope that you are in a safe place and that you can find all the help you need to walk away from this situation with the people around you. As long as you are not in danger, and as long as you have the ability to, I would definitely say you don't owe them your time. You don't owe them your time, you don't owe them your space, you don't owe them a place in your brain. So as long as you're safe, be careful, and take care of yourself. And I think that's all I've got to say on that one. Well, I think that might be all the advice. I don't know if has anything updated? Nope, I don't have any more. Okay, so let's read one more Reddit story. And we'll end the stream around 8. Okay. looking for one that has a good conclusion. Because they're tagged whether they have conclusions or not, and new updates and stuff. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. Oof. That's too heavy. I want to see if there's a funny or a nice one that we can read. Okay, let's do this one. This one seems kind of funny. This one seems silly. This is a r/am I the asshole? Let's see. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my car because it embarrasses my brother? This is, first of all, without reading anything, not the asshole. This is your car, it's your property, you can do whatever you want with it. Just because it embarrasses someone who's with you. It's like someone wearing, like, really funky pants. It's like, and they're like, oh my god, you should change your clothes. You should change your clothes because it's so embarrassing to walk with you like that. Oh my gosh. It's my body, I do what I want. You know? And it's the same thing. It's my car. You know? I want to express myself how I express myself. So I'm gonna. Oh, see you later, Kochi. It's nice seeing you. So this is the last one. This happened in 2024. This says, I, 17 female, am quite literally the stereotype of when a teenager gets their first car. My parents paid for my car, and I paid for all the interior decorations, with the exception of the seat covers. My car is white on the outside and has pink leather seat covers. Covers, blankets, and pillows in the back, and cute charms hanging everywhere. So my brother, 16 male, is an athlete, and because my parents are tired, I drive him to his 5 a.m. practices to help them out. My brother has told me that he hates my car, asked me to change it, and has thrown out some of my charms and blankets because he hates driving in a girly car when I said no. I sat him down to ask why he does this, and he says he's embarrassed whenever I drop him off and pick him up. I asked him if he was getting made fun of it all, and he said he wasn't, and I've met all of his teammates and coaches, and they do not seem like the type to tease someone for something like that. I can't believe he threw out her stuff. First of all, rude. He should pay her back for those items. He should pay full price for those items so she can buy new ones, because that's really mean. Now, it doesn't seem like he's being bullied for this. He's just being misogynistic. So, let's see. Now, I would understand this completely except for the fact my brother refuses to get his license because he doesn't feel like it. My brother said that if he got his license, they would pay for his car, gas, etc., but he just doesn't want to, resulting in me or my parents driving him around everywhere. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You can't handle being in a pink car, but you don't want to drive? Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, I get that he's 16. I get that he's 16 and teenagers lash out and whatever, but damaging other people's property for no reason, not good, not cool. Contributing to entropy. Let's go. C. So, because he has the option to get his license and just chooses not to, I don't think that it's fair for him to complain about my car when I get him to and from practice at 5 a.m. every day, and I normally buy him breakfast too because I know he is hungry. I don't ask him for gas money either, and since he doesn't have a job. I told him this and asked him to pay me for the thrown out charms and blankets, which is around $30. He went ballistic and said that it was unfair to him and threatened to rip my expensive seat covers if I didn't change the car. My parents are on my side but said that maybe I could get rid of some of the pink for him. So am I the asshole? He is rotten. He is rotten. Get rid of the boy. Throw him out. Don't drive him anymore. I know it's a favor to your parents, and their parents don't deserve the punishment, but guess what? He does. He does. OP, not the asshole. Get rid of the whole boy. Get rid of him. Put him up for adoption. I know he's 16. I don't mean that. I don't mean that really. But like, oh my god, he needs to have his ass handed to him. He needs some sort of punishment for that, right? Like, parents, where are your parenting? Where are your parenting? Oh my god, you should be taking away his Xbox. He shouldn't be going to practice. He shouldn't be going to practice. That's the thing. If he can't handle being in the pink car, he's not going to practice. And that's that on that. Sorry. Verdict, not the asshole. Relevant comments. Not the asshole. Stop driving his ungrateful ass anywhere. That's what I'm saying. Someone says, give him some roller skates. Barbie ones. Barbie pink roller skates. Get your ass to practice yourself. Someone says, not the asshole, you're doing him a huge favor. Let him know that if he hates driving in your girly car, he no longer has to. He can organize a different way to get to his early practices. Also, unless your parents have made clear to him that he needs to replace your property which he destroyed, they aren't really on your side. What did they do about him stealing and destroying your stuff? That's what I'm saying. Like, oh my god, lose the PS4. Take away his PS4. I'm guessing he has a PS4. Actually, no, I think he would have a PS5 because his parents buy everything for him. I think he's spoiled. There you go. Anyway, OP, I'm concerned that you've been conditioned to accept abusive behavior towards you. It's very disturbing that after your brother stole from you, destroyed your things, and threatened to do it again, you are still getting up crazy early to give him free rides and buying him breakfast and so on. Why? Is this how you're going to let a boyfriend or a husband treat you? Also, please don't gaslight yourself. Your parents are very clearly not on your side. Agreed. Agreed. Oh my goodness. OP. Yeah, this was honestly such a big wake-up call. Like, reading the comments made me realize how I have normalized to accept this behavior from guys and how my parents are definitely not actually helping me in this scenario. I'll be taking extra precautions going forward. Oh my god. Well, so, there's an update. I'm going to say, right now, girl, put your foot down. Your parents can deal with his ass. Your parents can deal with him and his snotty behavior. You don't have to do anything. You pay for your own stuff. You have a job. You have a car. You have your own things. Do not deal with him. Do not deal with him. Are you kidding? Are you kidding, girl? He threw out your Labubu. He threw out your Labubu and your blankie. And it's not fair. Get rid of him. He has no right to throw his stuff in your car, destroy your shit, and then leave. Oh my god. And then you buy him breakfast. No breakfast for this boy. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. And there's no parenting being done. I cannot believe. Oh my god. Anyway, that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. My true thoughts. Put down the boundary. You're not driving him. You're not driving him. And also lock your car. Keep your keys with you and lock your car. He's willing to destroy your stuff. Not allowed. Not allowed. Not allowed. Oh my god. He's gonna... Because the thing is that if nothing happens, he's gonna grow up into an awful boyfriend. He's gonna grow up into an abusive boyfriend and an abusive husband. Abusive father. Not good. Not good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyway, update. 4 days later. It's been a few days and thanks for all the support. After reading the comments, I had to sit down with my parents and I had to talk with them about this issue. They tried to kind of defend my brother. I cut them off as soon as they tried and blatantly told them that this was a bigger issue than just a girly car, but one rooted in sexism and disrespect. Real girl. Let's go. It was a long talk and around 2 hours of me just essentially saying what all the comments are saying, telling my mom specifically I will not tolerate sexism, misogyny, or disrespect that is rooted in machismo culture. By the end, they were quiet, and I told them that until my brother apologized, got his permit, and paid me back for everything, I wouldn't be helping. Yes! Yes, girl! Yes! Then I told my brother that I wouldn't be driving him anymore, and he looked confused, but I told him that my mom and dad could explain if even after all this, he didn't understand. The next day I was out with a friend, and when I came home, my brother came up to me and asked if we could talk. Of course I said, and we went to his room, where I saw 3 new blankets and some new plushies that I used to keep in my car. He gave me $100 from his savings and had a talk where he apologized for trashing my things and thanked me for everything I did. He said that my mom and dad talked with him about these issues plus the internal sexism and never realized how degrading this was. He apologized again and said that he would work on it, so whatever my parents said got through to him. Honestly, it was probably one of the most genuine apologies I've ever received, so I accepted it, but still made it clear I wouldn't be helping him out, which he understood. He actually signed up for driver's ed today, and is scheduled to get his permit next month. My parents started taking him to practice in the early mornings and are feeling it. I'm super grateful it ended up this way, and I will be redecorating my car to make it safer. Thanks, everyone. There we go. They read him the riot act. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Oh my gosh. Can you believe? I am glad that she put down these boundaries and she talked with her parents, and I'm glad that they actually parented him and he's changing his behavior. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You gotta communicate. Everything boils down to communication, doesn't it? Like, she communicated with her parents, and then he communicated with her. And, you know, having good parenting actually happen, rare, but good. I think this is a good, solid, rounded ending for the stream, and also for advice. I'm glad that worked out for them, and I'm glad that they wound up talking to people and getting all of that sorted. Like, it's perfect. Very good. Very good. Happy to hear it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, I think that's gonna be it. I'm going to find someone to raid as well. But I had such a fun time. I'm glad we finally got to use my office. I made the office specifically for my advice streams, and I'm really glad that it's been working out so nice. And I think that this was really fun. I'm really glad that people submitted advice, and I'm really glad that that everybody came and watched and we had fun. I'm going to see who's raidable right now. Let's see. Who should we raid? Let's see. No, that's not the right button. That was not the right button. I clicked the wrong button, and now I'm a little lost. There. Oh, it's ads, but it's okay. It's just you, so it's not so bad. Let's see. Who can we raid? Oh, someone else is doing just chatting right now. Let's do some of my favorite dogs. I'm gonna raid Ruru. Whoopsie daisy. I'm gonna raid Ruri VT. Let's see. Raid Ruri VT. What do you mean it's difficult? It's literally Rura. Here, okay. Raid to Rura, but that's okay. We'll find someone else. Let's go to Jules. Jules seems to be having a fun stream. I love Jules. Jules, I think, matches my vibes very, very well. I would love a model in Jules's art style. So let's read Jules. Julesy Woolsey. Jules is very fun. Well, this has been great. I love seeing everybody. It's been real, guys. I love you.